Hello, Shailesh. Very nice to have you on the Zoom series. How the hell are you today?
Oh, thank you so much first, Jody, for inviting me and to give me an opportunity to talk to you. It's really a pleasure to always talk to you. And I see your work has been incredibly fantastic going around. And being in the media, I do keep a watch. so
I love it.
I know it. Right. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm great. Surviving, as we say, but it's not, it's more than surviving. It's always when you are alive, you are surviving, but not just surviving. You are actually opportunity to do a lot of things. So I'm quite happy and quite into it, into the situation that we are in all. But yeah, I am absolutely positive about everything.
And that's why, my friend, we are such good friends because you're the light of positivity and you're the light of change, which is what we need right now. So, Shailesh, I have to ask you, what has been your experience of lockdown, even when we first found out about COVID-19 in New Zealand back in March? What was
Yeah.
your reaction and what has been a positive response to the lockdown for you? I'd love to hear.
Yeah, that's a good going back to down memory lane. It feels like when you want to talk about after 4 months or 5 months and 6 months being into COVID. So definitely it at that time, definitely it was a great mixed feelings about what exactly we are getting into, what exactly this is all about. We have heard lots of viruses. We had heard lots of spreading diseases, natural disasters we have been through. And I think New Zealand has been, and we as a country have faced many things in the last 3 years. And then of all this, trying to experience something new altogether, which we don't know what it was back then. So I had a mixed feelings, but I was, as I always say, that I always take the challenges in positive. I'm always positive. I don't bother. It doesn't bother me if there was a volcano or an earthquake or natural disaster or something like that happens, because we have to come out of it. So we have to be positive. If you give up, then we are stuck. Then we can't move. So any situation, whatever you are in, if you give up, then you can't move. So that has always been my thing. So that COVID-19 experience, I don't even want to call COVID anymore, to be honest, because at that time also I thought it was just a passing phase that came along. But no, it is stuck here, and it has not just here, it is stuck everywhere in the world. So in terms of that, I think the only thing for me is to just remain positive each time. And positive saying is different, and positive remaining is two different things. I can always say I'm positive, but then how am I positive? So I'm positive because I keep doing things, and it doesn't bother me what's happening around me in terms of why should I get disturbed with someone's negativity. And that is what I am all about. Is I'm so disturbed at the moment in terms of the media, in terms of the news, and in terms of the information that we are getting, and we have been fed by different sources. And that's where you remain positive. And I say, when you remain positive, you just ignore all these things and you just rely on your own self. That is what positive means for me. And that's what keeps me going, to be honest. So coming back to that question of, I had that mixed feelings. I didn't know what exactly this is going to be. We are stuck now here, and we have started understanding more about it. And we are now trying to adjust and adapt to live with it. Just like you have someone in your family, or just like you have someone in your neighborhood or in your environment, something that is there and you know it is there, and you try to live with it. So just that it is, now we know it is around in the world, COVID is around the world, and we just have to live with it. So I'm just positive and just taking that and accepting that facts and living my journey. That's me.
That's beautiful. And I love what you said. You know, not only is it about, well, remain positive, but it's
Mm,
also about what we do. It's
mm,
also about the positive actions that you can do.
that's correct.
And, you know, it's all about self-acceptance, self-reliance. At the
Mm,
end of the day, Shailesh, so much of what's happening in the world right now, we don't actually have any control over.
no.
But the wonderful thing is we have control of what we do,
Mm,
how we choose to react,
mm,
how we choose to respond, and what positivity and you know purposeful work that we can do to help in this really challenging time. Yeah, oh, I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. That is so on point with how I feel about it as well. That's awesome.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you are the founder of NZ World News. Did you want to, you know, talk to our audience a little bit more about, well, firstly, how did you come up with the idea of NZ
Mm,
World News, and what is
mm.
your vision for the future for this media company that you've started?
Yeah, that's a good question and good point that you raised, and why I went into media, or what is my vision and goals for the media. It's a great question for me because I keep asking that question, and I have been asking this question why I'm living in a world where in a media environment where nobody talks about real information, nobody talks about real awareness. Everybody paints a picture. Media has always been I think last more than a decade ago, I always thought like how I could make a difference in terms of myself, to get informed myself, to get self-awareness myself. How do I get informed? Because what I was hearing is all hearsay from people, from my friends, from my colleagues, from my business people, whatever information I used to get through, and I just thought that is what the information, but no, it wasn't. So I decided, and I've been deciding this for many years, to start my own media. And I know how hard or tough it is, people say, to start anything, to do anything, and particularly media. You get backlashes, you get lots of flack for many things that you say because it's a democratic world, but you are actually trying to say what you think is better. But then people are not taking it in a positive way, and they just want to hear the media. They just want to hear the news that pleases them, that makes them happy, not the real news. They don't want to live in reality. They don't want to live in illusions. And this is where I was a bit taken, that how do I, first of all, inform myself with correct information so that I can provide that same information as my contribution towards all surroundings me, right? So I came with a vision that my media should not involve any conflicts, any debates, any gossips. And without information, there is no such thing as conflicting, debating, or gossip. People always interpret one word, interpret into different things, and they can say whatever they like because it's democratic world we are living in. And I fail to understand that concept. Like, how do we give real information? How do we make self-real awareness? It was a big challenging thing when I started this. But then I thought, how would I stick to only positive news? So I decided not to give any opinion or suggestions, which normally the media is built on. And I thought, why can't I give whoever is the government of the day, whoever is the stakeholders of the day, they do lots of day in and day out, they work, they hard work, they create documents and policies and passes bills. But out of that, hardly anything reaches to the media, to the people. So I wanted to give that real information, whatever I could, from the current people who are making a difference, who are doing this work, who has been paid by the taxpayer, by us, to create information, to create awareness. We are paying for this, but we are not getting the information. How bizarre it sounds, isn't it? Like
Absolutely.
when you look at it.
You're right. Yeah. And, you know, I think for a lot of us, It's so hard to know what is real and what is not,
Yeah,
with the news as well. You know, we watch the news at night or listen to the radio, but so much of the good stuff is missing. And that's why I was so
exactly.
excited to interview you today, because
Mhm.
I know that you're so purposeful and driven around the positivity and
Yeah.
the stuff that doesn't get mentioned in the news. It's almost
Yep.
like you're kind of creating this new way of being, where we can actually find out about the good stuff happening, the stuff that's going to motivate us, the stuff that's going to make us feel happy and joyful. It is
Like,
awesome.
yeah, like for example, this we are living in a COVID-19 environment. We are living in a situation of uncertainties. We are living in a environment and a circumstances where political parties are just trying to get into the government, to rule the government, to rule the people, not understanding, not underlying the basic fundamental facts of humans that they stand for, is to provide them the basic real information and awareness to thrive, to grow, to move further. And that has been my main focus only on during this time, is to just give what support is available for the people, whether it is any business, whether it is any personal family related, whether it is any school education related, health related, housing related. What are the basic information support is available currently, because there's so much uncertainty. But are we seeing that news? Are we talking that news? Is any media talking about these factors that, hey, look, no matter whichever government it is, they are in the power, whoever is in the power, what support are they giving to the people when this time needed? So lots of stuff has been put out by the government. Lot of stuff has been put out by the opposition or ruling or anyone. But is the media talking about that
Because
this
a lot
is
of
good
people
policy?
don't know, do they? That's the
Yeah,
thing. There is help
like,
out there for us, and it is a
hmm,
really hard time right now. But the
exactly,
wonderful thing is that we actually do have a lot of help, but a lot of people don't know about it. They don't know their rights. They don't
exactly.
know what, is being offered. So I guess
Hmm.
that's part of your role, is to help spread the world
They
news
are.
for New Zealand, or is that all round the
Absolutely,
world?
absolutely. That is my vision. That is my goals. Just keep doing this. Whatever you could contribute towards the giving the real information, what support is available, financial support, mental support, health support, whatever support is available, everybody needs.
Mm.
It's not about money. It's not about just finances. It's about the support that they are getting and they are not getting. And it's high time media should talk about it. Media should push those things and not like just give a political roundup kind of, debates on conflicting and saying this is better policy, that is policy. Great. You can debate on that. But first and foremost, your role is to give the support to the people that they need, no matter where they come from, no matter which party they belong to. They are an integral part of this nation. And nobody's talking about nation rebuilding. Nobody's talking about the nation, how you build the nation from a crisis. Just because there is a recession doesn't mean that you forget about everything and then just talk about how are we going to get it out. So just focus more on how we all come together and actually fight this. So if I fail to understand, like when our government said like, okay, 5 million people needs to do this for each other to stay home and stay safe, can't they come together with the same vision that let's come together and rebuild our nation, no matter
Beautiful.
which party we belong? Let's come together. And that's what I will be advocating till I'm alive, till take my last breath, that I will only doing one thing: come together, make a people-led movement for the people, because these people and these generation, people who are born today, they will be our future. Who is thinking about them? I mean, if we don't come together now and think about them now, they are be the worst miserable condition. And there could be you, there could be your kids, they could be your kids. Who knows the generation in the future, what it could be. If today we are acknowledging and we are accepting there are lots of issues like the child poverty, like the homelessness, if we know that, and more people are into underprivileged situation, then what are we doing? Are we coming together and helping? Or are we just giving them support and saying that, okay, here is the support and that's it? Where is the future proofing? I will be calling for this simple word, future proofing of our nation. And we need that now. The media should be talking about that now. All the parties, irrespective of whatever their ideology, whatever their intellectuality is, they have to come together for the future proofing of this generation and the generations to come for our nation. And I think that's what I intend to create some events. And I wanted to have some basic fundamental, it's not hard to do, it's easy to do, but it's the acceptance of whether this is important now or is it important to just score over each other. Scoring can be done at any point of time, your word against my word. I can say my sentence or my statement is better than yours, or my ideology is better than yours, but that's fine. Ideology can be one step ahead, but does that ideology includes the future proofing of our country, the future proofing of our kids? And this is where I fail to understand, nobody's talking about how many kids are going into underprivileged situation, how many kids are going into hungry, okay? What monitoring factors are there to make sure that they are getting fed every single day? What monitoring factors are there? We talk about some systems that has been put regarding COVID-19, manage health isolation centers, hotels, and all of that security and safety has been put against those factors. And there is a mechanism and there is a monitoring factors, but what are the monitoring factor for kids don't go hungry? What are the monitoring factors that people don't become homeless? And are they out in the public? If they are they being openly talked so that people know and people can help people? Hey, look, you don't know, this is what it is. Go there, take help. Is it there in the public? I don't think so. No. And this is where I want to advocate. Like, I would love to have all these things out in the public as if like they are normal, they are day-to-day life, and they should be discussed day-to-day on a regular basis, and not just discussed. They should be given that support straight away, that nobody should be in that situation where do I go, what do I do in that kind of situation? Nobody should be in that situation. We are first world nation. If we call, then we have to act one like, not just on paper.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Shailesh. Yeah, that really moved me, actually. You've raised some incredible points, and it sounds like you are going to be very busy between now and you have this massive vision to not only help New Zealand but the world. And you know, the small time I have got to know you, I really feel it in my heart and my soul that you are going to make some massive positive changes, and it's going to be fantastic. And it's what the world needs right now, is leaders that are for the people and for the greater good. And I think it's amazing. Anyway, let's move on. Otherwise, I could continue to talk about this all day. I think it'd be a bit long, the interview. Okay.
There's so much to tell, but yeah.
Oh, that can be for the second interview, part 2.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So what is your view, Shailesh, on social media? You know, I've been doing a bit of research on it myself, because I actually have a almost 13-year-old son who's
Yes.
very much obsessed with social media. So what's your view on it, on, the youth of today? And do you think it's a positive thing or a negative thing?
Well, look, social media technology is always a positive because you are moving one step ahead and you are trying to uncover your intelligence and your, as a human brain, and human intelligence is so powerful. And I absolutely accept the fact that only humans can explore and humans can do these kind of things and move further. But so when the technology, if you look at Facebook, Google, if you look at Microsoft, all of these, they were based on one basic fundamental principle of getting the services out for every single human, how they can reach. So the concept was absolutely spot on. However, they probably knew that they could earn loads and loads of money with the minds of people. But at that time, they were not sure. But what has happened, the people on the social media and all the technology that they are using of the modern day, they have used it very nicely initially. They set up everything nicely for them and for others and for their colleagues. And they could bring the world together quite close and quite so much close that they started hating each other. And I'll tell you why, because, in a family, if you look at it, when you see your person every day, every single minute, same person over and over again, human minds are such, they want change all the time, right? When I say change, it's like they don't want to keep doing just one thing. They don't want to just see one thing because they are not designed for that. They are designed to explore a lot of things. And that is where the social media brought them together, but then they were stuck with each other so close that they tried to abuse that system. And they went into negativity mode, which is they could have utilized that for positivity, but they put all the energy into negativity. So rather than saying, okay, rather than adding or someone trying to be positive on the social media, they're trying to intrude the personal level. They made it more personal, and which is fine. You can do personals, but they thought that when you meet a person in person is different when you meet a person on a technology or
I
on a digital
agree.
device.
Absolutely. It's interesting how the
Yeah,
persona of social media,
yeah.
and I think you could even admit and agree that you probably go on social media quite a bit as well.
Yes, I
Facebook?
do. Unfortunately, I was totally against that few years ago. And then, but because of my media, people said that, no, you have to go on Facebook. Otherwise, your media will not be recognized and all that. I was wanting to keep more close my media to myself because I want to create my own contribution. I was not for the world. But then I said, okay, people said to me, no, we had to reach to some people, at least your friends, then you had to be on the social media. So I went on to social media. And Facebook is a great thing, but then it was utilized as a negative. So what I'm trying to create now on Facebook is more positive. And I can tell them and I can show them that, look, no matter your ratings, your likes, your dislikes on Facebook doesn't really matter. What matters is what content you are putting. And even if that one person reads your one content, which is good content, you had made a difference. That's enough for you. You don't
Absolutely.
need to look at the quantity, just look at the quality that you're putting out on the social media.
Yeah.
And I will be doing that no matter whether I get more likes or more dislikes, doesn't matter, bother me. The positive content matters me, that whatever people will read is a positive content on it.
Absolutely. And, one thing I've noticed through my own journey, we need to stop worrying about what other people think. There is
That's
no
correct.
way that every single person in the world is going to like you or agree with your message. So, that whole having to look good, ego,
Mm.
just be yourself, stand
Yeah.
strong and be who you are, the best you can be, and,
Mhm.
let go of expectations and what others think of you. If you do your absolute best, then
Yeah.
be proud. That's the best that you can be. And the followers, the people that resonate with your message,
Mm.
they are the ones that you want anyway. They're going to like your posts. They're going to be
Correct.
your cheerleader with the pom-poms on going,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah. Just like I'm so thrilled. Like recently I did a few events online and all positive aspects, and I'm just continuing to do. I want to bring all the small business community together through this media channel, which not many people, they talk about that small businesses don't are suffering, small businesses are going down, businesses are going down. They talk about all this negativity.
Yeah.
Hardly there is a media talk about how we can bring them together, how we can make them positive, how we can help them, how we can grow them. Nobody wants to put efforts on that.
You
Blame
do.
game is, I do. And
There's
I want to
nobody.
do,
There's a Shailesh.
well,
Um,
I want, and I will keep doing that, no matter whatever it is. I mean, yes, people prior COVID-19, everybody was having like a identity or like a label of prices.
yeah.
I will charge this, I will charge that. And so businesses literally now are struggling. Every single business is struggling. We know that. It's not just business, it's normal people are struggling with their own mental health and well-being and then
Oh,
financial
absolutely.
health.
There's no, and
So
it's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to have those
exactly.
days where,
Mm.
because we're not exactly living in normal times right now. We're actually in a crisis, and we're doing, each individual is doing the best they possibly can for what the tools that they have. And that's what I love about you, Shailesh, and
Mm.
myself as well. We are passionate about creating
Yeah,
tools to help people to get through these
yeah.
challenging times, to learn to be positive, to learn to be happy,
Yeah.
even though we're facing a crisis. Because, like I was saying before, there's
Mm.
only so much us as
We can,
us can actually control, but we can control how we react to it, how we
mm.
respond to it, and the positive action that we choose to do in our daily lives.
Yeah. Until we are like breathing, we need to keep doing that and not wait for things just because it's a crisis and everybody is talking
Yeah,
about crisis and everybody is negative about it, and we also fall into that trap of negativity, is not going to do any good to ourselves or to
no,
others.
no.
So we have to come out of that situation of saying negative things of, oh, we are in crisis, or we are now in trouble, or we will die, or we will have this kind of big trouble financially and emotionally. Well, that anyway you are on your regular minute to minute challenges you are already having in your day-to-day life. This is an added one, whether it is natural disaster or whether it is man-made disaster, whatever it is, the disasters, they do keep coming and they do touch you and everyone. It's
Yeah,
not only you, everybody is in the same boat.
yeah.
So why are you singling out yourself and having a more depression for yourself? You shouldn't be doing that. That's my,
Absolutely.
mm.
Um, so, Shailesh, I have to ask, what do you do on your day off? Because the conversations we've had,
Oh,
I understand you work very long hours. Do you ever have a day off where you
no.
just enjoy life, have fun?
There's no day off for me, and I don't think there should be any day off for anyone, to be honest,
Okay.
because that's my personal belief and belief in view that when you try to see, you have to enjoy everything that you do, irrespective of whether you are doing personal chores or either you are doing your household chores or whether you are doing outside your business,
Even
going
does that
out of
even
the house.
include cleaning?
Yeah, those also needs to be enjoyed and done. Because if you really look at it, yes, we do understand that we are here to do lots of things, but we are also here to do our own things to survive, to grow. So people forget the basic part. First and foremost, you have to look after yourself, which means you have to look after your home where you live, which means you have to look after your home people that you live with, which means you have to look after with all your personal, whatever you have to do, you know, your buying or your cleaning stuff and everything that you got to do, you have to do that. After that, what is left is all your mind is telling you to do this, or your heart is telling you, or your soul is telling, or your purpose. You have realized that you are born. And why you are doing this? Because you can do it. Now, if you can't do that, that means you can't do that, right? But people think that, oh, I should not be doing this, or I should not be doing that. People think, no, I feel whatever you feel you have to do it, you should do it, because that's what you have been asked to do by yourself. It's not somebody is telling you to do it. It's yourself is pushing to do that. So you need to do that, what you have to do. And that means you are capable of doing it. When the thought comes to your mind, like, I want to eat this, which means your thought is telling you you can eat it. So might as well eat that stuff.
Just not the whole cake, a slice of cake.
Yeah. But it begins with that thought. It begins with that thought that I want to do this. So when you think you have to do this, that means there has to be some layer that it's telling you that you can do it. So, but then once this thought comes, some people with fear, they think that the thought has come, but they have got another thought, fear, pushes them and says, no, you can't do this, or you don't do this, or you will not achieve this.
Absolutely. And fear is a killer, because it gets us in our comfort zone. We don't move, we don't grow, we stay in the same position because it's comfortable. But what if outside of our comfort zone, there's a whole new world that we never even knew existed, new people, new opportunities? You know, the best thing to do is if you don't want to do something, but you know in your heart that this could actually be a really good thing, but I'm afraid, it's like being a strong warrior and putting up that shield and just doing it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, definitely. So my goal and vision now currently is also to help all the people like me who have come from nowhere to like self-employed becoming, and self-employed is the most toughest thing at the moment. People think that, okay, self-employed is easy and all that, but no. When you are on your own and you want to do something on your own, it always a big challenge. Because in a job, at least, you know, you don't have to worry about lots of things of compliances and doing your own things. You just are concentrating on your own 9-to-5 job or 9-to-6 job or whatever. And you're not worrying about the business complications because you are in a job. But when you are a self-employed, business complications along with your income stream is too hard. And I think with all the professionals comes like yourself and myself, and there are many other professionals who are at the moment struggling in terms of how do we get it out to everyone, and how do we survive, because nobody's paying us, we are paying ourselves.
Well, I guess it's one of those things. It's purpose-driven work, and it's like any journey that we take. There's no easy way to success. There's no easy way to reach the, you know, because obviously you're wanting to reach not just a few people, you're wanting to reach lots of people, so you can make a massive difference with more positivity, more kindness, and tools that people need. And to do that, it's not just going to happen overnight. And it's one of those things for anyone listening, if you've got a goal or a dream, have some grit, get in there and really just keep believing that you can do it. But not only that, it's actually about taking the action. So every single day, and consistency is the key. And I mean, look at Shailesh. He works every day, 7 days a week till 2 in the morning?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah. We are going to wrap up this interview really soon. I will be sharing Shailesh's business page, and you can subscribe to his YouTube channel if you're wanting to get updates on NZ World News, because I'm a subscriber, and there's a lot of new interesting videos coming up. Yeah, so we'll post that in the comments. And Shailesh, is there one last word that you would like to say to whoever's listening today on
Well,
how they can improve their life in these challenging times?
yeah, absolutely. But before that, can I talk about my academy for 2 minutes?
Yes, but we've got 5 minutes. Can you do
Oh,
that? Should I put the timer on?
no, no, that's okay. Then we can talk about my academy next time,
Yes.
because I think that's a huge topic. And that's my charitable trust, which I'll be sharing that in that for website as well. That again is a registered charitable trust, and we are looking for lots of support for that, for the kids' sake, because my mission is to save our child and save the world. So that's in short, I can tell you, I'm more focused on the kids of this generation and the coming generations to come. It's going to be, if we don't sow the seeds now, for us, somebody else sow the seeds. For these, we have to sow the seeds. But we can talk that in our next chapter, Jody. Thanks very
I
much.
think
But
we
yeah,
can absolutely do a part 2, because I'd really like to share with the
yeah,
audience about your
yeah,
charitable trust.
yeah. So what was your
Yeah.
question, that last, what did you ask me?
I love it. Is there any advice that you would like to give our audience on what they can do, like to create more positivity
Yeah,
in their life going through COVID-19, going through the challenges that we're facing today? Is there any words of wisdom from you, Shailesh?
well, I can tell one thing from my experience and my way of living currently, the way I am and the way I'm approaching life and the way I am during these uncertain times, which everybody is going through, like me. But one positive thing I would like to tell them, each one and everyone, is that just don't believe even anyone that says something to you unless and until you check your own facts right. I might say that, okay, my friend is telling me, I know him for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and he's telling me to do this. But before just doing that, just get the facts right from the proper sources everywhere, anywhere that you could possibly, before you take that informed decision. Because your once decision taken, it's like that. Like when you put a bullet, when you fire a bullet from the gun, it doesn't come back. When you fire a word from your mouth, it doesn't come back, no matter how much you try to satisfy that. So my only message will be just to get the facts checked before you act anything. You can talk 100 things, but actions speak louder than talking. So when you act something, just act in a very responsible way. And this
So
is
not
not
on
just,
our emotions, you mean, in a more
yeah,
logical
in a
way,
more,
because sometimes with our emotions, we can
yeah,
create
we
these
do.
stories in our head because we're
Yeah,
emotional humans. We feel
yes, yeah,
things.
we feel
Yeah.
things. But I think the point will be like, just make sure that you are not responsible only for yourself. When you say, you're also responsible for others. You're also responsible for your surroundings. They might get hurted, or whoever. That when you say something, it does affect all your other people. So my only message would be is just to be more socially responsible. So that's why my business advisory as well is also, I tell all the businesses, no matter which business you are in, whenever you do any business, do business with a social responsibility. Otherwise,
Beautiful.
there is no purpose for the business.
Yeah.
Business is not just making money. Business is not just creating money. Business is actually creating social community responsibility and creating all sorts of benefits for everyone involved, because you don't take money from the business, you take money from the people. People pay you. So that's how the business is created.
Absolutely. So basically, you're saying to be more mindfully aware around your communication, around the words that you speak, not only to others, but ourselves as well.
Well,
Because
ourselves
that,
as well. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And
Well,
the
we are
last,
going to wrap this up.
well, the last word for positivity, the last word for positivity is just be kind and everything will be all right. Because kindness is talking is fine. Kindness implementation is very hard. Let's do the heartbeat of kindness, implement it. And that's where I'm going to put some program, trying to put a program and create a program on kindness, like a 8-week challenge program with one of my colleague, Karen Morrison. She's planning to do it. So yeah, we'll do it. We will do it. We are on to that mission.
You are an incredible human, Shailesh. Love you long time. It has been a pleasure interviewing you, and I really hope our audience has got a lot out of today. It was a very inspirational talk, and we will be doing another one about your charitable trust. We can do that really, really soon, because I'd love to hear more about that as well.
I would definitely like to talk more about that in our next meeting. But thank you so much, Jody, once again for your invitation to me and giving me an opportunity to talk about me and my organizations, but also how I can make, and if I can make of any difference or any help to anyone, please do let us know, let me know. I also put a hat of accounting and finance. And during these hard times, I have created an accounting of only $1,000 for a year with all tax, personal income tax returns and GST returns. It's quite one of the amazing discounted price that I want to give. It's not about money making. It's about how I can reach more people to give them this benefit and support.
Beautiful.
So that's my end kind of business, but we can talk more about that in our another series of talks. As I do a lot of things, I need to talk a lot of things. But, but thank you so much, Jody, once again for your support and giving me this once again a great opportunity. And I know you are absolutely a person of making a difference all about, like me. And that's why I like your attitude and the way you approach and the way you are doing amazing work, interviewing people, but also doing some amazing work around the mental health, around the happiness. So you being a great coach. So definitely, I would always love to talk to you and also help myself and know myself about more about my mental health.
That may be that may be an off the line conversation, Shailesh, but I'm sure I can help you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailesh. We will be talking really soon. Have an amazing week. Keep spreading all the love and positivity into the world. And I am excited to hear what you have coming up next.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.